Hi to everyone. We are today, the 30th of March, 2023. I am reporting today of two very interesting travels I've had the opportunity to be invited to go on. Last week of March, 2023, I was invited, as promised for a long time, to visit the Sirius B star system. As every time I do a far away space travel, I need a few days to catch up and for my body to recover the change of electromagnetic field of different worlds, and also especially when we are using portals, stargates, if you will. So I went to Sirius B by an amazing ways. It's always amazing, you know. Even short notice beforehand, had a little time to get ready. And then, so I put on my suitable clothes and fed the cats. And then I was beamed up on board Thoran, a fleet flagship. We flew at the edge of the solar system, and there was a portal there that we took. There are stargates everywhere. There's not only the stargate behind Jupiter, which is a big motorway, we can say. There is also the stargate at the edge of the star system, and we took this one. I was sat comfortably in the pilot seat, relaxed, took a deep breath, even a glass of water. Water always helps. And it was a big flash of bright light, blinding, but you know, it's not blinding only the eyes, it's blinding the whole soul, the whole being. You feel all the particles of your body just sting. It stings. And they are recomposed in another place. It's not a wormhole where the particles travel in hyperspace. It's quantum transportation. It's translocation, as they say. So we appeared in the vicinity of the Sirius A star system. And there was still this bright light. I couldn't adjust my eyes, and I needed to really catch up. I was given another glass of water. And I felt a little bit dizzy. You know, I'm not that, this body, this third density Earth body is not that used with stargates that much. So I was brought to an area of the ship where there's a restroom where I could feel better. And then I was brought to the observation room in the ship, in the left wing of the ship. It's a dome with a long chair. You can lie down, and there's a big bay window. It's like half a dome, and you can see. And as I entered it, Sirius A blinded me. It was like, I could barely see the stars around it and the sky around it. So bright, so big, and we were far from it. It's huge star, giant, and it's blue, white. And I needed a while to adjust my eyes. The belt I had been put on just, you know, was helping in the way that I adjust my frequency to this light. Light is frequency, you know, and you need to adjust to it. And the magnetic field of Sirius A is absolutely just takes you, blows you away, you know. It's like Jupiter, but like 100 times stronger. It's just a wind. It's a wind of light. It just brushes you. It brushes through you. That's it. It brushes through you. we approached it. The ship drove past it, in fact, and we kept on, and you could feel the magnetic field, the power. We passed by, and there was a little white dot in the distance. It was Sirius B. So we headed towards there, and the star got bigger. The brightness is not that much, Sirius B. And we arrived there, and there was a planet, the planet Nyan, in where Myra lives. It's yellowish, brownish, with a little bit of green in the atmosphere. And we came down. It's a little bit smaller than Earth, I was told. I couldn't really judge, you know. How can you judge when you don't have comparison? So I just watched the show by the window. I couldn't even sit. I was like standing. And you know, when you are in these ships, you don't feel the move. So you're standing like you're standing in your house. It's you don't feel the motion because the habitacle of the ship has its own gravity. Well, its own gravity bubble. So we approached this planet Nyan, and we entered the atmosphere, and Thorhan invited me to sit because it was more enjoyable to watch. So I sat at the edge of one of these long chairs, and I just enjoyed passing through the atmosphere. It was beautiful. And as we went under this layer of brownish, greenish clouds, then the sky was blue underneath. Suddenly the sky was blue, and it was like Earth. Forest, white, futuristic cities that just springing out of the forest, in the mountains, and even somewhere anti-gravity ones floating in the sky. The Sirius B people, the Tashkeru, are very known for their skills and advanced technology in architecture, and they are copied and all over the galaxy. They are really well known for their skills in architectures, really well known. They've invented this material that you can see only through one side, not the other side. A lot of houses are built like this on Sirius B, and buildings as well. When you're outside, you see a white wall, no windows. But when you're inside, it's see-through. It's very, very interesting. It's something to do with the subatomic particles in it. They are, the frequency field is polarized. So it's only polarized one side and not the other. It's really weird. They managed to do that. It's special materials we do not yet have on planet Terra. We approached cities there were towers like this, and domes, flying vehicles everywhere. Some bit of a mist sometimes in between the buildings, vegetations on the roof, the balconies, parks, bridges, a lot of bridges. Most of the vehicles are anti-gravity or flying, and so you do not need that much roads down. You have some. It's more like squares, like wide empty spaces where people can walk and vehicles can land. So the ship landed on a landing bay, a terrace, just as same when I went on Zagara in the Aldebaran system. The landing bay was in the middle of the town, the city, and it was on a terrace, open air, and then you could take a egg shuttle, and just go to kind of a porthole, and that would go down, and that would go to a place like an airport. You could get out of the shuttle and walk in the airport. And it was the same on Sirius B, on Nyan, in the Sirius B system. So we get out of the ship, The air was pure. The oxygen, it smelled nearly like ozone. It was so pure, like breath of fresh air, and very loaded in oxygen. So it was a bit dizzy first. But it managed to, the density belt managed to adjust it. It was a bit cold, colder than on Earth, although there was a beautiful sunshine. Sirius B, Tula, and we walked through this spaceport, the passenger area, and we walked there. And who was waiting for us? Myra. Myra and her family, her two sons, her daughter Gaia, was a tall girl now. Well, not that tall, maybe nearly like me, and her husband Jared. Myra's hair had grown to here, and she was wearing it's kind of a blue suit, but not Pleiadian like suits she was wearing on the not the Excelsior, the other science ship, because she's not working there anymore. She's back on Nyan with her family now, definitively. And she was wearing like a jumpsuit, blue jumpsuit, not a uniform. It was clear and that had a golden V little trim. It was nice. And she hugged me and we hugged. Oh, I've been missing her so much. It was emotional, and I rarely saw Myra being emotional, and that made me more emotional. My friend, my beautiful friend. She's always been looking after me. Now I'm a big girl. I'm an emissary for the Galactic Federation of Worlds. I embrace the maturity of my mission, and she doesn't need to look after me anymore as a medic. And so it was nice seeing each other, and we cried. She took me by her, she put her arm around my shoulders and we walked away, and I could also salute Jared, her husband, and her two sons. The tall one, the older one, is taller than her now, is nearly as tall as his father. And Gaia, she was so graceful, so beautiful, still doesn't speak, she won't speak, only telepathic and always brushed. She was very she had changed her energy. She's very more vivid and like Myra, electric, like very, buzzing with energy and bright. And she has now a function. She's working in, what is this work about? I don't know. It's where they took me. They took us, Farhan and myself. We walked footbridges and cross corridors, and it's very busy on Sirius B, on Nyan, sorry, very, very, very busy. Since the Sirius B star system has been liberated from the Nebu annoyance, and the Ashtar alliance has been dismantled because it was infiltrated by the Nebu and the alliance of the Six. Now, Sirius B, all the planet, Morga, Nyan, and the other ones, I forgot the names, I wasn't reminded. They are buzzing with freedom, joy, celebration, receiving more and more visitors. All the people who were exiled in other star system are coming back to join again, be together with their families. It's wonderful. Wonderful. So they took me in this big hall, It was like an amphitheater, but round, nearly round, like 3/4 of an amphitheater. And the other side, the other end, it was a big glass window, domed glass window. And you could see the city behind, vehicles passing by, and people busy in the upper floors. There were balconies, and there were footbridges, and they were walking. And in the middle of this amphitheater, there was a big round platform and a holographic map of the area, I suppose, that was explained. It's the nearby star systems. And you could see all the planets and the stars. So Gaia went down, and we followed her, and she was very, very, very proud to show us that she was working there. And she put her hands touching this big sphere. It was about talking in meters, maybe 20 meters, very, very big. And the star systems were moving, and Maya was very proud of her daughter, and Myra explained to me that all the little red lights were star systems that were still occupied by the remnants of the Alliance of the Six, and in the process of being cleansed from the Kilitokurt, the Sika reptilians, the Solipsirae, the Zeta Reticuli, and the Mitra, the Nebua god. So it's in process, but all the yellow and white systems and planets, they were liberated. And I have to say, it was a constellation of yellow and white dots, and only maybe 4 or 6, difficult to judge because it was a big sphere. Red dots were still pulsing, and conflicts was still going on there. So we spoke a long time about the liberation of the Sirius triple star system from the Alliance of the Six, and the joy, how the government is reorganizing, and how the Ashtar Alliance, in fact, is dismantled. It just collapsed, and they just wiped everything to build new bases. So the Ashtar Galactic Command, which was a separatist group from the Ashtar Alliance, the infiltrated Ashtar Alliance. Well, the Ashtar Galactic Command, the mercenary military organization, is still who they are. But I don't know, because Myra said to me they don't even have now the solution. Will they rebuild an Ashtar Alliance? Means an alliance, military alliance of the Sirius systems? It's very possible. So this is in the process of getting that done. Diplomatically, it's the point. My head was a bit dizzy with the oxygen, but I was not sick. It was fine. I was just like lightheaded. We left then this place, and we got out of the building by a series of bridges, and we were above the ground, very, very high. Couldn't look down. It was like, no, I'm not looking down. This footbridge is so high above the ground. I'm not looking down. No. And I was lightheaded. So Torhan is a big guy, so I took his arm, and we could walk on this footbridge that was taking us out of this building to another tower. And there, in this tower, there was like a whole hall with people walking everywhere, very busy. I understand now the personality of Myra, because she's always been so electric and very energetic. And in fact, everyone is like her there, like hyper. Her husband is a little bit quieter, is half a health, so is a bit quieter. But I understand now, because the electromagnetic field, not of Sirius B, truly, but of Ashkera, Sirius A, is so powerful that it just vibrates through all the planets of the three systems. Not Sirius C, though, but I've been told it was less, because there's a kind of a gravity point somewhere that affects the electromagnetic field of Ashkera, Sirius A. But Sirius B is totally in it. Like Sirius A is so bright. The night it's never really the night on the stars of Sirius A and Sirius B, because of the brightness of Sirius A. Even at night, when you are on the other side and Sirius A is the other side of your planet, there's still radiance that passes through the atmosphere, okay, and that goes around the planet through the atmosphere, and you can see on the horizon all around you, like, these midsummer nights in the northern hemisphere. I have this in Ireland, but it's of course multiplied on Nyan. It's never the night. There's always daylight at the horizon and barely darker above you. And that's how it is on the planets of Sirius A and B. Well, A is no night. It's like, but on Sirius B, you have kind of a twilight night on the other side with bright horizons. That's the most you can get. We took a shuttle, and Myra's husband, Jareth, he stayed in that older building because he's working there. It's a science facility, big tower. And yeah, something I want to say is the towers there, they're not straight. They have large bays, large bays. Like conic, like this, conical. The shuttle, so I was sat beside Myra at the front. Thorhan was with the two boys and Gaia at the back. And him and the boys were like, wrestling a bit, like, they like Thorhan. Thorhan is family. Thorhan is the Uncle Thorhan. They love him. Gaia, of course, very like this, always reserved. And how she was dressed, interesting, because you're gonna ask me that. She had a black, like dark gray anthracite color jumpsuit with a silver belt, a very thin silver belt. She had a brooch or pin, I think it's her function. And her hair were in a low ponytail behind her head. She's beautiful. We arrived at Myra's house. After passing through parks flying above sort of highways, and there were big parks at either side. And we arrived to, it was a tall building. Its shape was organic, and the shuttle left, parked in the front of the house. Got out. It's a shuttle that's not, it's like an Uber or taxi. It has an AI that drives you wherever you want, and wants to go down, goes. You get out, it goes. So we went into Myra's house, which is lovely. So much light in it, and effectively there's this material where you can see through from inside. And there's a garden around, with low trees. I never seen trees like this. A little like palm trees, but not like big ferns. Big ferns, that's it. These ferns trees. We had a meal there. It was a meal It was weird. She got that from her replicator. It was kind of jelly, everything based on jelly. And she entered my DNA code that she knows by heart in her replicator. And the food that, well, the jelly that came out was adapted to my DNA, my enzymes, and I could digest it. And it was tasting like a bit of lime. It was nice. There was a little bit of crunchy bits in it. I said, what is it? She said it's synthetic vegetables. I don't know, not more. I don't know. We had that with a kind of red liquid to drink. Like, tastes like fruits. And we spoke about the old times when we were all in that scout ships, when Thor and Myra were working at the liberation of people, and I was times to times visiting them. Well, it was good times, and we spent the afternoon there, what looked to me like the afternoon, because the bright light started to dim a little bit, so it was meaning nighttime. And they brought me back. They brought us back. Myra and her older son brought us back to the landing bay. We took another shuttle. She called another shuttle by a little, there was a pad in the wall near the door of her house. She put her fingers on it, and the shuttle arrived very, very quickly. And we took off. And we went to Astroport, and so we went back to the ship and back home. Not another pleasant going through the Stargate, but Myra is happy. She's not coming back near Earth anytime soon. She will, but she's very busy now, very happy with her family on Nyan, and it's a new start for them, for all the Tashkiru, they're enjoying their freedom, they're celebrating. The trade agreements have been renewed. And it's for the first time that I heard about on Nyan, in the conversations with Myra, that there's such a thing called the Galactic Guild of Merchants. So never heard about that, because the Earth, of course, is not part of it. So there's no point. Thorhan told me about this, but they trade. It's all. What is the Galactic Guild of Merchants? It's all the trading cultures who are agreed by the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and who can come and trade on the motherships and on any other planets of that are under the protection and members of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. That's what the Galactic Guild of Merchants is. You need very, very specific requirements for that, but really vetted and everything. And you can get kicked out. There's a council of is it called? I don't know. There's a council, it's led by a council. So we went back, and that's my trip back to Earth. How long did everything took? Well, took a day, I would say 24 hours. And it took me a few days to catch up. I hadn't even told my friends about that. I've been very secret. Because if I told my friends before making this video, I would have told the story 1,000 times. And I wanted to tell it for the first time, spoken vocally in front of a camera, because of the spontaneity, and I wanted to be really genuine and share with you the emotion. Then I did another journey, another trip. Yes, and this time it was yesterday. And guess where? To Luna, Earth, Moon. I had never been there, and well, that was an experience. So it's like Mars. I, as a Terran civilian, I'm not allowed anywhere near. There are Terran, Earth Alliance personnel, or space program personnel without clearance, because my body, my 3D body, and my Earth identity depends on Earth administration and etc. So if that's why I've never been to Mars and never been to the moon yet, because Thorhan would have to convince and get me clearance, etc., etc. Or Ardana, not him, but Ardana, I suppose. So that's too complicated, and it needs to be a good reason. So I haven't had yet clearance, but I hadn't had one either. Well, last night on the moon, well, yesterday. How did we do that? Thoran really want to show me something. So he said to me, I take you for a surprise. So beamed on board his ship, the same one. And when he beamed me up, I arrive in the teleport room of the ship, and he welcomes me. He just, tap my feet on the floor, like, well, yeah, that's solid. I'm really full in my body. All the particles are in the right place. And and then the time we go to the common pilot room, well, we're already in front of the moon. Like, wow! I never seen them put so close. I've been to Sirius B, to Nyan. I've been to Zagara in the Alnilam system. That's very far. But, to go on the moon, it's emotional because I've been looking at the moon since I'm a child, and here, and always we're flying by, and I've heard all these stories about the moon being liberated in 2021 and all these facilities being built there. It was always like, wow, unreachable, even though it was so near. And so near to the Excelsior. Every time I go on the Excelsior, sometimes I see the moon by the window. Not always, but sometimes I can. It's there. So we flew closer and closer to the surface. We could have gone faster, but Thoran wanted me to enjoy. He does always that. And there was a crater with, it's not even closed. It wasn't even on the hidden side of the moon. It was a little bit underneath, and you can't see it until you're there, because it's in the shadow of the crater. There's an opening. And so there's this opening, and the ship just went down. It was a square opening, went down like a shaft, long, very, very thick. And then inside, of course it's hollowed, but under a very, very thick layer of surface, okay? There was a huge spaceport with a very, very, very high ceiling. And there were so many ships in there, so different shapes, so different cultures. We landed there, and I was like, wow. The ship landed. We got all signal that we could all get out, the crew as well, because the crew of the ship was also going to get out to get some, I suppose, some rest or work. I don't know. So as we landed, Thorhan told me, now we're going to play it like this. You're the emissary, of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, which is a fact. Now, you're going to be one of us. You are not Terran, you are Tal. Oh my God, Thorhan, what is this trick again? He said, don't worry. So my emissary uniform was in the back of the ship in a special room. So I got there, I changed and got out, left my human clothes there. And he went, okay. He wrenched my hair, said, no, you're Tal emissary for the Galactic Federation. Thorhan. So we went there. I had no clearance. Ardana was aware of this. She knew about that. It was a plan to get me to see some stuff to tell you. We got out. Everything is a plan with Thorhan. Even when it looks like a dodgy plan, it's a plan from higher instances, okay? In the fun, there is always a reason, an official reason that I can report. We got out. The atmosphere was totally breathable. So we walked out and there's the place where the ship lands, and there are like rails. It's a platform, and there are rails that going out of the platform to different directions, and you can walk only there, and they're like metallic gates on the sides. It's like foot bridges put on the floor, and you walk there, and it goes in certain places, and you get out of the landing bay, and we went on board. There's this same thing on Ganymede, these floating platforms, and you need to catch the rails, handrail, otherwise, whoa, same thing. So, and that took us to through the base. It was all metallic. You see, it's built by not the Federation, not the Syrians, not the Pleiadians, none of them. It was most of it was made by this facility by the Nebu. The gray architecture is very metallic and rough. It's weird. And then you have also the humans who developed these facilities. There are way more ancient structures on the moon that predate the occupation of this star system, but this was not where we were. We arrived in this laboratory science area district. It was a bit darker with lights on the ceiling and lights on the floor. You need to follow the lights on the floor. It was leading you to different places, and there were numbers, actually Earth numbers, like the Arabic numbers. So for the humans who work there were ETs, different races. And that's where the Earth Alliance works and get all the technology made. And I saw a tiny bit of it, like 1% of it. I didn't see all the factories with the med beds and the cars, but I saw this. So Thoran took me to a facility where it was very funny. We were walking in this corridor, and I could see soldiers from the Earth Alliance. So they have dark blue uniforms, button on the side, and they have a cap flat on the top with the long on the front. They are soldiers from the Earth Alliance. And they have a round insignia with a kind of a V and their wings on the sides, a reversed V with the wings on the sides. And I couldn't really see it. And there's something inside like a star. It's a silver with a bit of red in the middle. Yes, that's it. A red star, a round around it, circle around it with a kind of a pointy thing in it, and wings, silver wings on the side. That's the logo of the Earth Alliance that I've seen on the soldiers, but I guess they have different ranks and the logo may vary. They were like saluting us like if I was an ET, and that was cool. So we arrived at this, we entered in this room, big room. It was huge, and they were building med beds in there. Oh, not the big productions, but they were building prototypes. So, in fact, they were like, yes, that's what they were doing. There's the structure parts of the med beds, like the structure is built in a big factory place, not far from where we were. And then the med beds, nearly ready, are brought by rails by tunnel into this specific facility where we were. And they are, I have to say, they are finished, completed. And that's when they put the holographic technology inside. So I could see that, and I could see Earth scientists. It was mainly Earth scientists. How can I know it's Earth scientists from ET scientists? Because of the electromagnetic field of the person. I've explained to you that before. When you are born on a planet, your body is made with the same electromagnetic field as the planet. So you know when it is someone from a different planet, it has a different electromagnetic field. They were putting tubes like this, round like this, filled with the blue gel liquid, like not a gel, plasma a bit, like plasma a little bit. They were putting this in the med beds. They were putting a lot of things, the holographic technology, they were putting this, and that's what Thoran wanted to show me, these tubes. So these tubes were put, so under the structure of the med bed, there was, sorry, one, I'm excited, getting excited. There was one in front of us, and on the front left, underneath, there was, like the guns, there's a small barrel where you put the cartridges in it. Well, it was the same thing, kind of. It was a cylinder with holes to fit these small cylinders in it, You could do that. And like cartridges. And what were these cartridges with this bluish kind of light plasma thing? These were the holographic frequency codes that when you switch to the right cylinder, the right cartridge, it activates in the whole medbed, and the person received this frequency, and their DNA is modified, or not modified, or healed or repaired. Repaired is the word. So there was different frequencies, and I've been explained that it's for different ET races, but there are other medbeds or for different diseases like cancer or things like this. And he said, now he showed this to me, and the scientist, the guy, the Earth scientist, well, that was there, he had, you could see he had a uniform, a Blue Alliance uniform underneath, Earth Alliance, but he had a white long blouse on it, short hair with a little bit of gray. I could recognize this guy, glasses. I don't know. Yeah, he had glasses. He could get his eyes repaired. Maybe he will. But anyway, maybe he was freshly arrived. He stepped aside, and he was very, wow, ETs, And I was thinking, oh boy, if you knew. And Thorhan showed to me this one, this particular one with these symbols on the end of the cap of the cylinder. It's what Enki, what EI said, what Ia brought. It's the frequency key of the original 11-strand human DNA. I said, 11? He said, yes. The 22 are the compound of the original 11 plus the Anunnaki plus all the other races who came after on Earth and mingled with the Earthlings. So this is the original DNA sample frequency code. When the human beings of Terra were at their full potential, unaltered. So this is the original sample of human Terran race. Before anyone mingle with them. Well, when we say pure original human race, it's already a hybrid compound of 10 ET genes, intergalactic genes, and a local creature. But this is what Ia found when he was given the first samples of humans to modify by Enlil. That's what he discovered. And he kept the sample of this particular genome, this particular unaltered, pure, pristine DNA with a potential. It was amazing. And that cures everything. It's a universal cure for everything, especially for the genetic diseases. Genetic, malfunctions when a baby is born with missing chromosomes or something like that. It just heals everything, repairs everything. So I said to Thorhan, what will we look like? Because when the Anunnaki arrived, they called the humans the blackheads, and they were hominids. Will we look like that if we decide to get that thing? You ask questions. And Thorhan burst laughing. Oh, yes. We were speaking telepathically with Thorhan using the implant. Because the Earth humans didn't want to hear me talking. It was a safety. So we were doing that. Sorry, the genetic thing. He said, there is evolution that one day leads to change in appearance, but the genome stays the same. So if you want to experience the healing of getting your altered genetics repaired to your full potential one, like this, it's really useful when you have genetic diseases or genetic malfunctions, things you cannot repair by only meditation and spiritual evolution. You need sometimes medical help. So the potential is there, and that's the full potential. So we will still look like how we look like, but repaired, rejuvenated. We will not look like, if we decide to take this experience, we will not look like ancient hominids at the time the Anunnaki arrived. No, because they were one step in that evolution of the same frequency DNA code. But we could look, if we want, like humans of the future, how the evolution will work, But it is set to not change the appearance. You can choose rejuvenation in age. You can choose this, and it will be recommended for health. You can choose not to. So here we go. There's a lot of, genetic things, problems that it can repair. Like, for instance, women who cannot have children, things like this. Men who cannot procreate, or because there's something wrong in their genetics, things like this. So it will be a choice, an option. So Farhan showed me this, and he wanted me to report. Well, Ardana actually wanted me to report this. I saw on a higher platform at that moment Pleiadian woman with a Pleiadian uniform, and she looked at us, she looked at me, two and a okay. Because she knew humans cannot come without a clearance, and that's like super difficult to get. And that was it. I was brought back. We came back to the ship, and same way, I changed my uniform back to my human clothes in the ship, and Farhan brought me back home. And that was what I can report. We are here today, the 30th of March, 2023. We are heading towards a beautiful, bright future. My name is Elena Danan. I am at your service as the emissary of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Have a loving day. Be love. Don't forget to laugh, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be okay.